Welcome to the executive chair. I am so glad that you are here. This podcast is for beauty pros just like me who are doing the work, showing up every day to serve the clients that we serve, build a brand, and still keep a little something for yourself. I'm your host. My name is Lauren Brown Middleton. I'm a hairstylist, a mentor, and a beauty business owner who knows firsthand what it feels like to juggle so many things at one time. I am behind the chair, inside the suite, and building my brand from scratch, figuring out systems, setting boundaries, breaking them, of course, and learning lifelong lessons along the way too well. And if there's one thing that I know about the beauty industry is that it's so much more than just hair, skin, and nails. It's about heart, it's about spirit, it's about energy, connection, and it's about building deeper relationships. And most importantly, it's about entrepreneurship. And to be honest, sometimes that can be extremely exhausting. The executive chair was created as a safe space for beauty pros to be able to have real conversations outside of Instagram and outside of the break room. Talking about client expectations, how to evaluate the client experience, navigating professionalism, pricing with confidence, protecting your peace because that is most important, okay? Staying consistent with social media, deciding whether to go onto the salon floor or a salon suite, and everything else in between, because it's all a juggling out act. If we're being honest, this is a place of no filters and no fluff, just honest strategy and stories that remind you that you are not doing this alone. Whether you're getting ready to start your first client of the day at 7 a.m. or you finished a 12-hour appointment in the salon, I want you to feel like you are right here beside me and you are not doing this alone. So let's grow together, let's be honest, and let's have real conversations. This is the executive chair, where beauty and business meet and where legacy is built in the midst of conversations. Come on in, y'all. Have a seat. The premise of the executive chair is no fluff, no Instagram filters, no none of that. This is a space where I want to provide strategy. I want to talk to real beauty pros and provide some insight. Outside of building business with your heart and setting high standards, this is a place where the chair in the boardroom bridges a gap between your talent as a hairstylist or as a beauty pro and entrepreneurship. Because how many times have you met a hairstylist, a makeup artist, a barber, a waxer, an esthetician who is excellent at what they do, but their business acumen lacks? There is none. And the reality of this business is that if you don't have business strategy, you will phase out. You won't learn how to elevate your business to the next level. But what you will experience is going to be burnout. Then you get out of this space of loving what you do, and that's when resentment creeps in. And that is what I don't want. So this is why the executive chair is such an important piece, because I feel like in the last few years, the customer service piece of the business, the rushness of get them in and get them out, has allowed beauty professionals around the country to lose their fire for customer service. And we are in the customer service business. And I don't think a lot of hairstylists focus on that piece anymore. And here is where we're going to dig into that a little bit deeper. Now let's figure out, who is this podcast for? And honestly, it's for everybody. It's for that student who has just graduated from hair school. It is for the seasoned stylist who is trying to figure out a way not to be burnt out. It is for the person who is transitioning into the business from maybe working at home to now going into an actual salon space. This podcast is for beauty pros on every level of their journey in business. And the biggest piece of why I decided to start the executive chair is because over and over again on social media, you see countless videos of clients who have had bad experiences. And no longer can we allow those bad experiences to taint the industry. We have to have real conversations with each other and keep each other accountable, because sometimes we allow the talent of the business to sometimes get us off course. And the reality is that without these clients, you don't have a business. So what does that mean? That means you have to do the work. And here is where we're going to talk about doing the work that makes sense, that has strategy and systems behind it, and that isn't just vague. Like, we're going to talk about some real strategy here that could change your life, that can save you time, and that also avoids you from being burnt out. Now, let's get into the soul of the show. Like, what's the purpose of this? I want the executive chair to be more than just a podcast. I want it to be a movement where beauty professionals of all walks of life can tune in and feel seen, feel heard, feel vindicated, feel inspired, and feel like this is a space where I can finally say some of the things that are going on in my head, because you guys know that everything you think you cannot necessarily say, especially when you're dealing with paying clients, okay? So there has to be a space where we can come together and talk, bounce ideas off of each other, say now, okay, that was too far, and or say, well, no, she was wrong. I want you to feel vindicated here. For the last couple of years, social media and clients have literally ripped us apart. And let me be clear and say, this isn't a space of argumentative, this isn't an argumentative space. Let me say that. This is a space of clarification. This is a space of let's talk about it. And is there a way that we could have done that better? That's why I believe the executive chair is necessary. Let's talk, let's strategize, and let's figure out a way to make our businesses, our workspaces, a much better place, not only for our clients, but for ourselves as well. Now, what makes the executive chair different than any other podcast? I know you're wondering. And I'm going to go back for a second. I stopped going to hair classes years ago. And the reason why I stopped going to hair classes is because I felt like they no longer provided valuable, teachable information that I could use to better my craft. Example, I went to a hair class early out in my beginning when I first started doing hair. And I was having problems figuring out how to make my braids be closer together. Because if the braids are closer together, what that means is that there is a less possibility of there being spacing when laying the tracks. Correct? Okay. So in this class, I asked, is there a way to eliminate the gap in between the braids? This instructor, who I paid $495 for this class, said to me, the more you do it, the better you get at it. What does that mean? What does that mean? That did not answer the question. And yes, once I did do it more, I did understand that when you place a part beside the cornrow, that cornrow that you have now in place is now going to be closer to the cornrow that you already made, making a part beside the cornrow. Instead of saying that, she gave me some random off-topic answer that didn't help me. I want to give you guys real answers, real strategy, real systems that you can implement into your business and it make a difference. I don't want to give you these unicorns answers and you never really get your question answered. Here, we're answering questions with strategy. We're also going to be honest about the truth about salon floor life, what that's like. Also, the loneliness of being in a salon suite. We'll also talk about the mental healthness of it all because as a hairstylist, you're also a counselor. You're also a shoulder to cry on. You're also helping a prayer warrior. You're also a business coach as well. And these are all hats that you didn't necessarily sign up for, but they came when that person sat in your chair. And I feel that you should be equipped and you should also be able to save a little something for yourself as well. Now let's talk about the episodes. So there will be some episodes that I will film independently, just like this. And there will be other episodes where I invite a guest. Now last week on my Instagram, I asked a all call for the best beauty pros in the Charlotte area. Nail techs, waxers, estheticians, hairstylists, barbers, makeup artists, you name it, all of them. And let me be very clear in saying this. I'm not asking for Instagram famous artists. I'm asking for artists who have a proven track record as far as their experience and their talent, their communication and their ability to service clients, as well as them having some type of business sense about their business. Because this space is so important and is so raw and unfiltered, I'm going to be extremely selective about who I put in front of you. And for that reason, that's why I feel like it's important to have the right guests that I bring to you guys each and every week. Let's get into the topics. These are going to be some of the topics that I've been doing my own independent research on, as well as talking to the beauty pros that I have coming in so that way we can have great conversation as well. How to elevate the client experience. We know experience is huge in this business. Why else do you think people spend thousands and thousands of dollars to take their kids to Disney? The experience. If you don't have one, you need to find one, especially in your business. We'll also be talking about pricing with confidence, without emotion. Sometimes I feel like in this space, we allow our emotions to get the best of us. And that in turn causes you not to charge your true worth and for you not to be able to charge what you feel is necessary. And that later on in life builds resentment and burnout. Now, we're also talking about building systems that give you back your time. So you're not in a space where you're working all of the time and then you get home and you have a family, but you're too exhausted to do anything else because you've worked all day long. That, my friend, is for the birds. Booked and busy is a myth. It is not real. We're also going to talk about navigating professionalism and your reputation on social media. Now, sis, I get it. Social media is my page. I post what I want. You are exactly right. Until you have a business. You cannot crash out about a client who did not show up. You cannot crash out about an angry client. You can't do any of those things because that one experience of that bad client could cost you your next three. So we got to figure out a way to navigate that without you risking your social media reputation. We're also going to talk about the salon floor versus the salon suite debate. This is a hot topic. People want to know, is there a difference? Is the salon suite necessary? Has the salon suite taken away from the overall client experience in the salon? Has it or has it not? It's a topic of discussion. We're also going to talk about healing from burnout and rebranding your business. Like I previously mentioned, being booked and busy is a myth. That leaves you exhausted and busted. So let's figure out a way that you can monetize when you are in your business and when you're sleeping. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day. And why is rest a business strategy? My friend, I'm going to come close when I say this. You need to rest. Because if you are not your best, you can't give anybody else what you don't have. And these are going to be some of the topics that we're going to talk about in the executive chair. Like that, another lesson, another layer, and another step towards the legacy that we're building together. The chair you sit in is not just place, it's position of power and of purpose and of possibility. Keep showing up for your craft, for your clients, and most importantly, for yourself. Because here at the executive chair, we don't just do hair, we build brands. We shift your mindset and we make room at the table and then turn that table into a throne. Until next time, the executive chair is the place where beauty and business meet and where conversations build legacy. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, thank you for having a seat in the executive chair.